I'm coming to talk to you about unashamedly earning the big bucks doing what you love. Now, I remember my first primary school teacher, my first grade 1 teacher. Her name was Miss Kent, and I thought she was just the most amazing thing ever. In fact, she was only Miss Kent for the first 6 months, because then she went to get married and she came back as Mrs. Guglamania, or at least that is the name my 6-year-old remembers. It could have been something very different from that. But despite her name change, Mrs. Guglamania was the most fantastic thing I'd ever known. I adored being in her class. I adored her beautiful, loving environment she created. She inspired me. Every day was magical going to class as a grade 1. And in fact, I thought she was the most oldest, wisest woman I'd ever met. And when I look back, she was possibly 20. But in my eyes, she was just fantastic. And so I remember when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I was asked, what do I want to be when I grow up? Brooke, what do you want to be? So of course, there was only one answer. I want to be a teacher. And I remember this was met with a flippant remark about, oh, you won't make much money from that. And I remember being an 8, 9-year-old going, well, you didn't ask me about that. You asked me what I wanted to be. I want to be a teacher. And I really was confused with this answer that I had got. But it was a conversation that kept turning up in my life. Brooke, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an actress. You're never going to make that. And if you ever try, you're never going to even make a living. You'll struggle to make a living. Brooke, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to work in childcare. The hours are extremely long and the wages aren't very good. So I was experiencing this all through my younger years of this real pull about what I want to be versus what I need to earn. It was like this seesaw. You could either do what you love, or you could do something you didn't, and you could earn lots of money. And I was witnessing it everywhere through my parents, through their friends, through society. I either saw people doing something they absolutely frigging hated, earning a shitload amount of money doing it, or doing what they loved, struggling to survive. And it was this seesaw. Choose something you love, choose something that fattens your wallet. One are you going to choose? And I learned to despise that question. Brooke, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because I didn't know the answer. I didn't have the answer, or all the answers I had, which were apparently the wrong ones. So I learned to try and find the right answer that involved the wallet, that involved having the right amount of money. And that led me on a path of here, there, and everywhere, because I would try one thing, my heart wasn't in it, so I would fall out of it. And I could never find where I belonged. So I ended up falling into my vocation as a bookkeeper, because I came back from England. I'd been living there for 5 years and came back with my then boyfriend, now husband, and my dad's bookkeeper was leaving. And Dad said to me, Brooke, you've always been really good with numbers. Why don't you become my bookkeeper? I thought, well, it sounds all right. Apparently I could earn a pretty good hourly rate as a bookkeeper. I could do that. I didn't mind numbers. It was okay. So I fell into this vocation of a bookkeeper. I fell into having my own successful bookkeeping business. I didn't love it. I never loved it, but it earned a pretty good wage. In fact, my hourly rate I charged my clients was a lot more than an hourly wage of some of my friends that I knew what they were doing. So I figured I must have got the right side of the scale. Until I was about 35, when I realised I actually had chosen the wrong side of the scale. When I was 35, I had popped into the doctors for a quick follow-up, what I thought was a quick follow-up. I had been and had a colonoscopy 2 weeks before. The doctor had asked to see me, and I thought I was literally in there to tick the box, say, yep, that's good, let's talk about diet or something along those lines. In fact, I was so oblivious to it being anything else. My mum came with me. We were on the way out for coffee. Like, it was just a drop on in, let's go for coffee. But what the doctor told me during that time absolutely changed my world. It wasn't just a quick drop on in. It was the knowledge that the biopsy that they had taken during the colonoscopy had come back and it was a carcinoid tumor. And that made my whole world fall apart. That day when I came back and couldn't understand really what this diagnosis was, so I turned to Dr. Google to find out what a carcinoid tumor even meant for me, because I didn't know. And what I discovered was that most people, when the carcinoid tumor is discovered, it's not only discovered because you have got symptoms that's taken you to have a colonoscopy, and it's normally too late. You normally have a limit life expectancy of up to 5 years. And my baby girl had just turned 2, and my eldest was 6. And I realized very quickly that this could mean that I wouldn't see my children grow up. And I remember laying in bed that night, all I could think about was my kids, and the understanding and realization that not only would I not see them grow up, they may not remember their mother because they were so young. They are so young. So I thought what I would do is I would create letters. I would make movies. I would give them memories of me, ones of when like I am now, without the sickness and the chemo and anything else that was coming my way. I would let them remember me as I was, with all the memories. But then I lay there and I thought, what else do I want? Like, what wisdom could I impart to my children? If I really had one last time to tell them my wisdom, what would I tell them? And I thought, well, that's easy. I lay there and I thought, I would tell them to follow their heart. I would tell them to do what they love. I would tell them that nothing is impossible. Anything they want, they can do. They can have a sky if they want it. They just have to follow their heart, allow themselves to be led, to do what they want to do it with joy and happiness. Whatever brings you joy, do that. That's what I wanted them to know. That is what I wanted them to hear. And it was laying in that bed all that time ago that changed my life utterly, because I realized as I lay there, everything I wished for my children, I was not doing myself. I was not living my life doing what I loved. I was not doing what my heart was calling me forward to do. And so I realized as I lay there that something had to change. Despite what would happen and what the future would bring, something had to change. And something very much did. I am very grateful to say when I visited the specialists up in Perth, they told me that my carcinoid tumor was very small and in fact had been taken out in its entirety during the biopsy. And even though I had numerous MRIs and blood tests and more colonoscopies than I wish to tell you about, I am so very grateful for that diagnosis. Because as I said, laying in that bed changed everything that night. Understanding that everything I wished for my children, I was not the demonstration of. I was still living in this seesaw of doing what I hated, earning money for it. And to be honest, I wasn't even earning enough money to make that life that much different. Yeah, this had to go. And it did. That was 7 years ago, that diagnosis. And I have changed my life remarkably from that. I have moved to the other side of the seesaw. No longer working for money. I am now working doing something I love. But there is a very big but here, because I noticed just a few months ago that my vocation may have changed, but that wallet hadn't really. I was still doing what I loved, not being paid or receiving the amount of money that I could do because of the belief there. And I was still seeing it everywhere. The women that I've come across online, these women who have the most amazing, amazing abilities and here to change the freaking world, have put a limit on their earning ability. They have stopped themselves, taking themselves to that next level. They've put a block on how much they can earn. They are not allowing themselves to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what they love. It's as though subconsciously we are telling ourselves we can't have both. Yes, who am I to have it all? Who am I to do something I love and earn a shitload of money doing it? When I see people out there struggling and hating life and doing what they hate, aren't I good enough? I've got one thing. I will do what I love. Isn't that enough? Who am I to have it all? We have the guilt rise. Yes, we have that guilt, we have that shame. As soon as we hit a certain income level, we put a block there, because who am I to earn the big bucks, to unashamedly earn them, earn as much as I want? Surely there must be a limit there. Who am I to have it all? Who are you not to have it all? That is my question. For some reason, especially us as women, we feel because we have the right to bear children, we also have the right to bear this responsibility and this shame not to out-earn anybody. Yes, we should apologize to our peers, to our partners, to our children, to our family if we get anywhere near earning too much money. There should be this shame because no one else is doing it. But I'm here to tell you, it's just because no one else is doing it doesn't mean it's right. Just because no one else is unashamedly earning the big bucks doing what they love doesn't mean it's not your God-given right, your birthright to do the same. Who are you not to lead by example? Who are you not to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what you love? If you have children, what life do you want for your kids? Which part of the seesaw do you want? Why can't we have both? Why can't we do what we love and earn a shitload of money doing it? Why can't we be the example? Why can't we start that new financial revolution to show what is possible? Yes? Why does it have to come with shame? Because society tells us it does? Because we've seen it for our whole life? I'm here to implore you to start this new revolution with me. Instead of shamelessly being shamed into earning the big bucks, get excited about earning the big bucks. See what is possible, feel what is possible, know that there is no limit, and there has to be. It doesn't have to be a limit on what is possible. Anything is possible. Allow yourself the privilege, allow yourself the permission to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what you love, because the world needs that example. The world needs that example. And I'm here to tell you it's not always going to be easy. It's not. I stand here in the fire with you. I stand here walking that path with you. And I know there'll be times where the shame starts to rise again, where the judgment starts to rise again, where you will have that mirror of people coming back saying, who are you to do that? That's where I implore you to say to them, who am I not? And who are you not to join me as well? It's not just for a few of us to get to the top, to do what we love, to unashamedly earn the big bucks. It is for all of us. It is all of our birthright. We all get to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what we love, because we do. There need to be no other reason but that. You get to do it. You get to have it all. You get to have both, because you absolutely do. So, beautiful ones, this is the financial revolution I am leading. I am leading one where I support women to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what they love. And I want you to get a figure in your head what that big bucks is for you. And I want you to double it. I want you to triple it. And I want you to add a zero to the end. Yes? I want there to be no limitations to what is possible, because there is no limitations to what is possible. Not for you, not for me, not for any of us. Anything is possible. And I am so excited to take you on that journey. So freaking excited. We can unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what we love, with ease and grace, and be a living demonstration of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, gorgeous ones, for hanging out with me and listening to me. It's been such a freaking privilege. And I would love for you to give yourself permission, because that's what you were missing. Permission doesn't come from outside of you. You don't need society's permission. You don't need your family's permission, your partner's permission. You don't need your peers' permission. All you need to hear is yours. Give yourself permission to unashamedly earn the big bucks and allow that to be your reality. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for Rebecca and Michelle. It's actually a pleasure to be here as well, to be able to share this with you. I am absolutely fired up about this. As I said, this process has been an absolute unfolding for me. And when I said I'm in the fire with you, I absolutely mean that. This month has been my biggest month ever. Yes, I, in 10 days, earned $25,000. And when I went out and hit that post on my social media to talk about that, the shame, the guilt, the worry, the judgment all flooded up. But I reminded myself, who am I not to do this? My role here on earth, the reason I am here, is for women to earn as much freaking money as they possibly can doing what they love. Who am I not to be the demonstration of that? And I want you to tell yourself and remind yourself of that as well. You are the demonstration. Who are you not to do this work? Who are you not to unashamedly earn the big bucks doing what you love? I am so freaking excited to see what you create. And I am so very grateful for you all being here with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You know where to find me. I'm going to send this recording out as well. I love to hear from you. Any feedback, any questions, any ways you want to know how to earn those big bucks doing what you love without shame, without guilt. Hit me up, because that is absolutely what I'm here to do. Thank you, everyone. Mwah.